Welcome back. ISO on me today. Let it get out the way real quick. Let's get it out the way real quick. This is made in the 1980s. Uh, Thank you so much for listening, clicking on this video or clicking on this audio, whichever one you prefer to watch or listen to. ISO on me today because I have a lot to say from a very personal place. And, I never know how good these episodes do, but sometimes I just feel the need to just sit and just talk to myself, talk to you, and maybe I connect. Maybe um, I get joy out of it. I feel purposeful when I do this, and it's not about the numbers. It's about me um, giving another side of the black male and his thoughts, because we don't have a lot of outlets that cater to that. You know, I believe in a lot of ways we're all looked at, especially the black male, emotionally, career wise, spiritually, all of it, that whole spectrum. I think we're looked at as a certain way. Um, I don't think that we have many layers of our strength being displayed. So I do this. I do this for perspective. I do this because maybe one day somebody's going to see one of these episodes and they're going to be like, yo, do this. Or they're going to put me in a mindset that I hadn't had before, whether it's through your comments or maybe messaging, whatever it may be. But, either way, I do this for just the conversation to be different. This is made in the 1980s, not because it's based solely in nostalgia, but because I was born in the 1980s, and uh, as a person in their middle age trying to adjust and adapt and grow in this new world. Yes, 2024 is a new world than the one that I even graduated high school in. Hey, it's different from the one that I graduated college in. This world is new, and I needed to talk about it. I needed to express myself in the safest place possible about it. And sometimes that is right here by myself. I've been talking to myself as an only child for years. And now I get to bring y'all into some of the conversations I've always had with myself. And I do, I really do like doing it, you know? And we're going to talk about that too, because I think this is probably, in a lot of ways, a part two of I think it was the F Your Passion or F Your Dreams episode that I did a while back. Um, but before I get to that, buy some merch, campfromtheport.store. If you can see the video, you see the made in the 1980s cream hoodie that I got on deck, you dig? And this is just a prototype. If you can see, I'm going to zoom in on the camera just a little bit. It says Cam P Presents. But now the ones at the store will either say Camp from the Ports, made in the 1980s, or it'll just be made in the 1980s, just the phrasing itself. And I did that because branding. I failed so much at branding, and too many names, too many aliases, too many ways to try to separate but yet bring together. And hey, it don't work. It don't work for me. It doesn't work for my social footprint. It doesn't work for anything. So from now on, man, moving forward, everything is made in the 1980s or Camp from the Port. I've learned so much about branding by failing at branding. And hopefully, this is the final cut of what we got here. And if nothing else, we just develop and redevelop and maybe have cool artwork attached to it. But yes, campfromtheport.store. Make sure, check it out. Get yourself some merch. I'd greatly appreciate it for the fall season or for next spring, summer, whatever you like. Um, I would love to do boy shorts and panties for the ladies. But if guys want to buy it, that's cool too. I don't discriminate, you know. But I digress. Let's get to the topic of today. And just like the title read, man, chasing money and what it got me so far. So now, I think it was the first time I've heard the phrase. It was in the movie I Think I Love My Wife. It was a Chris Rock movie where the white guy dropped like the bar of all bars during the movie. And he said, you can lose a lot of money chasing women, but you'll never lose women chasing money. And boy, did I think that he had the gospel when he said that. And in correlation to women versus money, absolutely right. You should absolutely 1,000,000,000,000% chase the money over chasing the women because you need security, you need comfort, you need provision, or a means of providing for yourself as well as others, as well as the woman that you would want. And look, and you know what? Here's the cool part about it. Women are attracted to security and provision. So it makes a lot of sense. However, man, I want to peel back a layer. And as I peel back this layer, I want to thank LL Cool J and the Joe Budden podcast. And the conversation, one that they had on their Patreon episode with LL, but also the JBP, I want to shout them out because of how they spoke about podcasting on a recent episode in regards to it, being a lick, or, people think of it as the ultimate get rich quick scheme. And when it don't happen for you, you just abandon ship and now, it's no money in podcasting. I want to highlight those two because they really put me back in my place. They put me back in my place as far as dreams and passion. I'm going to be very real with all of you when I say I've chased money all 2023 and all 2024. And in the process of chasing money, I do have more. I am probably the most financially stable I've ever been in my life. There are some days that I don't even check my bank account. I just look at bills get paid on auto pay. I just spend, I book, I confirm, and just keep it moving. And that is the great plus. However, the flip side is, man, especially over the last 60 days, I would say, it really sunk in how unhappy that I am. I'm very unhappy, if I'm being honest. I'm unhappy because what I envision for myself versus what is actually happening are not aligning. I'm in a position where, yeah, I think I'm doing great. And the adjustments made around me is maybe saying maybe I'm not, or maybe I'm just not doing it the way it's warranted or expected. I'm also in an industry that is just currently down. It's down because Americans, ironically, short on money. Now that the stimmies are gone, now that a lot of us got to get back out into the actual workforce, a lot of that remote work is fleeting. Shoot, I was work from home for quite a while. Um, but there's not a lot of the same opportunities presented the way that they are for the prices and for the payments that they are. So I don't want to get it confused with anybody when I say, man, I'm extremely blessed to navigate the way that I do. And I'm not going to cap you. I don't make six figures. I don't. But I definitely make enough to where my wife and I are extremely comfortable. Comfortable enough. And we would probably be even more comfortable if we uh stop traveling. You know what I'm saying? So took a moment to not spend certain months. Certain months we overspend. And I'm cautious of that. And that's why sometimes I gracefully bow out. I'm like, hey, look, I'm not doing that. Um, my daughter, she hasn't asked for anything, you know. So I'm not going to assume she's not in need of essentials, is what I'll say. You ask a teenager, they're gonna want anything. I was like that. So I know she wants a lot, but her need for necessities, that ain't real. You dig? So, but I've lost a lot of happiness um with all this new money that I've made um specifically this year. I said I was done chasing my passions, but man, I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore because of the way I heard LL Cool J speak about rapping and about hip hop and being an artist. And, you know, he said he's still living his dream even at, in his 50s because he's getting paid to rap still. And he was like, wow, you're gonna pay me to record, you're gonna pay me to perform and do a show. He was like, yo, I would do this for free. I did this for free. I did this for nothing. So to get paid for it is, you know, chef's kiss 10x on just wow, this is my life. And I want that feeling so bad, man. I want that feeling, you know. Um, he said that, and I watched the episode of the Joe Budden podcast, but then on the Joe Budden podcast that's just recently passed, I think it was maybe first weekend of October, as they were talking to where they were speaking to some just other podcast changes, I believe. I don't remember how the topic itself started, but um, oh yes, because of Melissa Ford and her new show, Hot and Bothered, that's going to be debuting here pretty soon. Yes, it was centered around that topic, and they were just speaking on the topic of the entitlement to the people that are a 6 degree separation of the Joe Budden podcast, whether you've been on the show before or not, or you see the success of Joe's show and people think, oh, well, that's just like the foundation. Like at minimum, I'm supposed to see that. And that is crazy. And there is a lot of investment and there's a lot of time, there's a lot of effort and a lot of consistency that has to happen in order to make a franchise and a brand and a show like the Joe Budden podcast. And man, as I spoke to that, man, my spirit started just vibrating like at a very high level because I don't podcast for money. I don't broadcast for money. Um, I do this literally for free. I use my own money to produce my merch. I pay for my StreamYard. I pay for my Canva subscription, pay for Adobe Audition, and anything else, anything else, for cameras, for microphones, for even the chair I'm sitting in. I bought all of this for the purpose of just being comfortable while giving the best possible product I can, in hopes that one person would listen to it or one person will watch it. Um, I've made some money off of merch. I've been, using like a third party source to where, I see a profit for even just one item being sold. And I don't use that money. And if I do use that money, it's going to go get poured back into something else for here. Even though you can't see it from the video, especially if you're doing audio, but I got artwork all over, and I'm waiting for more pieces to come because I'm going to have different angles. So it doesn't look like you're watching the same thing every time you see my face. Like, because I think the most important thing for me to do is promote myself. So you might see me wearing merch in every single piece of content I have moving forward. Um, but I do all that because I love doing this. I really do. And it would be my dream to get paid to do this. It'd be my dream to get paid to broadcast again. Even when I worked for a corporate radio station, I had a full-time job there, but I did my on-air shift for free. I did my weekends for free, and I didn't complain. I wanted the opportunity that bad. That's how bad I want the opportunity to just, one, get better, and to two, just be heard. I did that for free every single weekend they would allow. I would have did it live. I would have did a voice track. The original program director said he wanted me to be full-time at nights, and he wasn't sure if he was going to pay me or not. And I said, cool. I was like, I want the gig though, because how I feel about myself and the way I believe in myself and in the true essence of betting on myself, you give me 5 or more times to do something, I'm going to eventually get really good at it. And that's just how I feel. That's my belief in myself. That's my faith, that I put in myself. So when I look at a lot of people talk about, podcasting or broadcasting or being in radio or music, whatever it is, whatever any of these independent contractor type of artistry gigs are, and they immediately look at them like, hey, and I'm gonna get paid. I'm gonna make so much money doing this. It's just like, man, who am I to tell you that you're going at it wrong? Like, who am I to tell you that that's the wrong method? Because I am not winning the popularity contest. I haven't made the 4, 5, or 6 figures from this, but my journey and what I've experienced and what I feel, I'm actually the perfect person to tell you, hey, if you want to do that, don't do it for that. And it's a double-edged sword, right? Because everybody may start at zero as far as money goes, but for the average, it may be a low amount, but for the elite, there's a high amount, right? There's somebody somewhere in the world on a terrestrial radio station doing overnights that has the ambition and the drive to be at a Howard Stern level. And they can achieve that. I've worked as a free intern on a morning show, just helping out on a morning show that was rumored, at least, because I don't know the contracts I don't pocket wise to be a 7-figure show for the entire cast of being the host and producers. But then I've met some people that have made maybe $35,000 a year doing their radio show. If you start a podcast as a nobody, like me, quote, nobody, I'm somebody to somebody, but in the grand scheme, in the grand field, I am a nobody to ads and sponsors. I make zero. I put in a lot of work. But, I could be a legendary actor or athlete or just a very popular athlete or actor or musician, and they may give me 10 grand a show, maybe more. Hey, Spotify gave the former First Lady Michelle Obama millions of dollars, Kim Kardashian millions of dollars, and they thought they were going to cash out in this. And everything in the world would tell you that Kim Kardashian and Michelle Obama would have a podcast that rivals Joe Rogan's show. But it didn't happen. And now Joe Rogan is signing $200 million deals for his show. And I remember when that started on Ustream, when he was sitting on the couch talking to other MMA fighters. I remember those episodes, 2009, 2010. So success is obviously in the eyes of the beholder. But man, right now, if I was just to make a smooth 10 to 15 grand a month producing this show, putting the show out to you people, and that was my gig, man, I'd be happy. That'd be happiness for me. To take Made in the 1980s, this Camp from the Port YouTube channel that I have, and that generates me 10 to 15 grand a month. You couldn't tell me nothing, and that would be life made. It's going to come with work. It's going to come with time, effort, and energy. No matter what people say about podcasting now and the boom being over and the bubble being popping here, I want to be clear to everybody. I didn't start this podcast because I thought that this was going to be a sweet lick. I've been doing podcasting since 2009, 2010, several different shows. And through time and distance and losing co-host and moving around myself, being unemployed, trying to get gainfully employed because this doesn't pay, being afraid of taking the ultimate risk of just, hey, I'm already on my mom's couch, back in her house. I might as well go through with this. But instead, I got off my butt and got a job that would pay today because I was getting married. And I didn't think it was right to be living in my mom's crib and I was going to have a wife that I needed to take care of the best way I could. This is the first show that I have built for myself and by myself. The First Black Champ podcast obviously counts, but that's with my guy, J.R. Bang. That's a 50-50 venture in my eyes. I may have created the show in action to be a part of it, but he's literally 50% of it. I am on the record, just like I was with the now defunct Banging on Lunch Tables. I'll never do an episode of First Black Champ if J.R. Bang is not on it. I'm not doing the show. The show is over if he's not doing it. So, and that again, that's another one that we do for fun and we love and we have the community, the FBC community, and it's growing. And I'm very proud of it. I'm proud of this, and we're only a little bit over 30 episodes in. I'm very proud of what I've done here with Made in the 1980s because this is me being as authentic and as real as I've always wanted to be about everything I wanted to be about. And, yes, in the grand scheme, I've been doing this well over a decade, but to me, it feels like I've literally only been at this for a few months, because the feeling I get to do this and the feeling that I get to create, no matter what is happening, supersedes everything for me. I truly do believe in this show. I do believe in myself as a personality, as a broadcaster, as an artist, as a creative. And it is way past time that I do all I can to make that reality for myself even greater. Chasing passion. I need to do it because I've chased money, but it's not working. It's just not working, man. Money is great. Money is great. Please don't ever get it confused. Money is great. Okay. But for me, it's never enough when I don't like something. You know, a lot of us are conditioned by our own society to take our check, shut the fuck up, and be happy with what we have. I've met so many men and women over the years that talk about their jobs and that they're not glowing about it. But they say, hey, it pays the bills. Hey, it I got a house, got my car paid off. It ain't all that bad. But if you ever look into the eyes of these people when they're talking to you about work, you almost see their dead soul inside. A gentleman came to my store the other day, and he asked me how long I had been doing my job, and I said, "Man, off and on now for about 10 years. Like off and on. I've done some other things around it." Um, and then he said, "You like what you do? Are you happy?" And I couldn't front. I was like, "Man, you know what? I'm okay with this, but okay with this, but." I was like, "But man, I'm a broadcaster, man. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I want to broadcast, man, full time. I was doing that before I got into this, and I've never truly lost the desire to want to do that." And and then it was right there in that moment for like the second or third time in the last like month or so that I was like, man, wow, I really need to do what I need to do to get in a full-time capacity for broadcasting. Even the When I Grow Up episode, right? The revelation I came to then, it was there. I'll do this for nothing. Hey, wait, whoa. I'm doing it for nothing. This is obviously what the job is. This is obviously what the career move is. And I often think that had I just took a little more time to bet on myself, really risk it all, if all is really what I had to risk, where would I be? But for me personally, I won't speak for y'all, but let me know if you identify with this. Let me know if you identify with this. Sometimes the ideas you have aren't mature enough to really be executed the right way. And since you can't quite figure out what that is, you just go back to work. You don't necessarily suppress it, but you table it. Like you table your ideas, you table your thoughts, you table your passions because, oh wait, gotta get to work. Some days you're distracted at work, kind of in the clouds. You don't really know what the next move is or who can help you. Because a lot of times, especially being black, and we're only told to be a handful of things growing up. So when you come and you bring a whole different idea to the table, now you potentially are surrounded by no one that can help you. And even worse, people that don't even believe that you can do what it is you're doing because they've never seen nobody else do it. So you sit with that. And then all of a sudden, it's gone. I think that happened to me more times than not in my lifetime. I really do. And I've always wanted to do a show just like this. If you have been friends with me on Facebook for a while, this was, where's my finish line? Episodes like this was anyway. I never felt that I gave a broad enough show name to really get all my ideas out. And then I was trying to use stage names and radio names and again, just a clouded mess. Clouded mess. But new resurgence for me specifically. And even at my big age, still tracing dreams, still want to be passionate about something, still believe that I can really do this because why not? Like, like let's just keep it real. Like, why not? How come it can't happen for me if I stay consistent and I start from the bottom and I work my way up to getting an audience that turns into a community that I can serve with information and ideas. Why can't it happen for me? I don't have a reason, so I don't believe that it can't. So that's what's really the foundation of chasing your dreams and chasing your passions because for everyone that is mediocre or average or failed at something, there is at least one person that's exceeded abundantly. I'm going to start putting myself in the mindset of the person that succeeded abundantly. I don't think I'm average. I don't think I'm below average. I think I'm elite. I think I'm great at everything I decide to do. But most importantly, I am absolutely great at everything that I am passionate about doing. If I have passion and drive behind what I am doing, I am absolutely the best at what I do, So with all that said, what's next? Praying, planning, and more praying. Because I can't do this anymore. This is what I'm currently doing, not this show, but what I'm going to call my real world life. I can't do that anymore. I got aches, I got pains. I'll be broken down a little bit, but magically, when I wake up and don't have to do that real world stuff, feel amazing, well rested. I look at my eyes and they look lively. Skin looks good. I'm not limping as much. Dare I say that my real world life is breaking me down. That I use my dreams and passions to lift me up. Yeah, that's what's happening for me. So I'm going to keep praying on it, man. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for tuning into this episode. I appreciate you sincerely. Um, go after your dreams the right way. And the right way is the way you see it. Don't let people tell you how to trace your dreams. Don't let people tell you about your dreams, period. Don't even accept the assessment of other people, because here in America, at least, less than 50% of us are really chasing our dreams. That's why. So don't buy into it. Don't believe what they say. You keep going. You keep doing what you need to do, no matter what age you are, no matter how much money is in your account. If you believe in it, plan, pray, pray, then plan. And best of blessings to you on that. That's going to do it for me. This has been made in the 1980s, and always and consensually. It's love.